With Fortnite Chapter 7 ranked finally dropping, you're entering one of the most chaotic grind windows we've had in a long time. Everyone is racing toward gold, diamond, and especially unreal because this season doesn't wait for anyone. Tournaments are launching rapidly, victory cups are happening weekly, and the $1 million Unreal Cup is coming up faster than most players realize. So if you want to actually compete, make money, and be ready for everything Chapter 7 throws at you, you can't afford to fall behind. And in today's video, I'm going to show you the most efficient ways to hit Unreal in just 10 days, even if you're starting at the bottom. First of all, we need to talk about how ranked actually works this chapter, because while it might feel similar to Chapter 6 on the surface, these small adjustments Epic made completely reshape how you need to approach every single match if you want to climb the fastest. This season, placement matters more than ever. In both Battle Royale and Zero Build, placing inside the top 30% now gives you more progression than in the previous seasons, and finishing in the top 5% gives you a massive bonus that can jump your rank way faster than anything else in the game. That means the system is now heavily rewarding consistency and smart play instead of reckless W king. On the other hand, players and teams who finish in the bottom 40% lose slightly more rank than before, and that creates a very different ranked environment from what most players are used to. If you're someone who has a good game here and there but also dies off spawn a lot, you're going to feel the punishment more than ever. With the system leaning harder into placements and consistency, you can't afford to throw games just because you want to take an unnecessary fight or land on a contested building for no reason. Because 1 or 2 bad matches can erase the progress of 3 good matches, and that pressure forces you to think more like a competitive player instead of someone casually jumping into any lobby. And to give you real experience, I've already played multiple ranked matches myself this chapter, and yes, you do get placed pretty low at the start. I personally got bronze too, and I know a ton of you probably had the same exact experience. You hop into your first match, you dominate, maybe you get a double-digit kill game and a high placement, and the game still drops you into bronze. That's because Epic completely reset the entire ranked ladder and gave every player a clean slate, regardless of how you performed last season. Everyone starts low this time, and even though it feels weird, it's actually a good thing for grinding because the early lobbies are a mix of all skill levels instead of sorted, sweaty matches. What stood out the most to me though was how differently these matches play compared to last seasons. Some games actually feel like early season Chapter 5 styled games, where players rotate, play smart in survival instead of brainlessly sprinting at every sound. You're seeing more structured fights, more calculated pushes, and way more players playing for placement because the system finally makes it worth doing. In my first game this season, I dropped to 16 kill second place, and even that placed me in bronze. But that's exactly how the reset is designed to work. It's meant to force everyone to prove themselves again from scratch in order to make the tournaments more competitive. This is why understanding the new rank system is absolutely necessary. When you combine the increased reward for consistent placements with the fact that everyone gets placed low no matter what they do, the climb becomes all about how well you perform over the next 10 days, not where you start. The players who reach Unreal first aren't the ones who got a lucky initial placements. They're the ones who understand the system, adapt to it, and play in a way that aligns with how ranked progression actually works, or they just don't get off the game. And this season, the difference between climbing and getting stuck is mostly mental. If you tilt, panic, or rush fights, you'll fall behind. But if you lock in mentally and approach these first 10 days with a real plan, treating every match like it's a part of a bigger goal, you'll rank up faster this season than any previous season Fortnite has had. The players who take these early days seriously are the ones who will glide through gold, plat, diamond, and elite before most players even realize the season has started. Now that you fully understand the new rank changes, we can move into something just as important: which team mode you should actually play. This matters more than people realize, because not every player has the same strengths, weaknesses, or playstyles, and choosing the wrong mode for your ability level can slow down your rank climb down by days. Solos is where most players are going to either speed through the ranks or get stuck endlessly, and that's because solo gives you the best raw progression based on kills, placement, and pure individual performance. It's harder than duos or trios, no question, but that difficulty is exactly why it's the best mode for ranking fast up. You're held accountable for every mistake you make no matter what. Every rotation, every fight, every loadout decision, every engagement comes down to how well you play. If you make a mistake, there's no teammate there to bail you out, no reboot waiting for you, no extra pair of eyes to call out a player hiding on a roof. Everything is on you, and because of that, solos forces you to improve way faster than any other game mode, and this season in particular, learning solos is almost required because of the solo series tournament. These tournaments heavily reward players who can stay calm under pressure and win isolated 1v1s or 1v2s, so you definitely want to play solos to build up these skills for the solo series. But let's keep it real, some of you simply aren't built for solos, at least not right now in this part of the season. If you struggle with pressure, if you panic when someone pushes you, or if you feel lost without communication, then duos will be your best mode to climb in. Duo gives you so many layers of safety and support, a teammate to revive you, reboot you, and help you in fights and calm you down in stressful moments. A good duo partner can literally carry you through bad situations, and even if one of you has a rough game, the other can bring the match back with a clutch. Duos also lets you survive much longer on average, meaning more placement points, more opportunities for controlled fights, and a way smoother climb in your rank. But keep in mind that the top 5% of duos placements are usually harder to get than solos because every duo you fight is coordinated. So you need real chemistry and smart communication if you're going to climb your rank quickly in duos. Still, for players who get nervous or overwhelmed, duos is easily the best balance between safety and good progression in the game. And finally, if you're someone who loves chaos, non-stop W King, and playing with your friends, then trios can be absolutely fun and a good way to grind ranked. But you need to understand what you're signing up for. Trios is very unpredictable. You can dominate one match and get full wiped in 15 seconds the next. You're fighting stacks of 3 mechanical players, you're dealing with third parties constantly, and the chance of dying early skyrockets. Trio gives you opportunities for massive kill games, but it also gives you way more chances to throw those games. And because climbing the season rewards consistency so heavily, Trios is simply not the most efficient choice if your goal is hitting Unreal in 10 days. You can still rank up in Trios, don't get me wrong, but it'll take way more matches and a higher skill ceiling from your whole team. If your only goal is fun, Trios is perfect. But if your goal is hitting Unreal, solos and duos will always be the more reliable, efficient path. Now, choose the mode that plays to your strengths, not the one that strokes your ego, and that's how you will climb the fastest. But before we go any deeper, I want to quickly shout out today's sponsor, Risen's Tweaks. If you're trying to rank up this season, your game performance matters just as much as your actual skill. Risen's Tweaks is an optimization tool that reduces ping, lowers input delay, and boosts FPS, and makes your game feel noticeably smoother. I use it myself, and the difference is instant, especially in stacked lobbies where every millisecond counts and every FPS. Most players don't realize how much their PC is actually holding them back, but once you fill your game without stutters or delays, everything changes. So if you want an advantage going into Chapter 7 ranked, check out Risen's Tweaks, the link is in the description, or use code FLOW at checkout for 15% off. Alright, back into the video. Another thing you guys need to understand is what ranks are required for every tournament, because this is the part that most players overlook until it's already too late. For all the Victory Cups and Solo Series Cups, you need to be at least gold ranked, and this is where timing becomes extremely important. A lot of players wait until the day of the tournament to try and grind their way into gold, but by that point, the lobbies are way harder. The competition is sorted, and you have way less room to make mistakes. If you're not already gold by Friday or Saturday, you're missing out on tournaments that could have easily boosted your competitive experience. This includes Ranked Reload and Ranked Battle Royale. Both require gold, and missing these tournaments doesn't just mean you're missing out on fun, you're missing practice in structured lobbies, placement opportunities, and more importantly, that competitive confidence you can only build by actually playing events, and the most important one, money. But the big one, the one everyone's aiming for, is the Unreal Cup at the end of December. If you want even a chance to qualify for the $1 million Unreal Cup happening in just 16 days, you need to hit Unreal rank before it starts. And that's where the climb becomes serious. Climbing last minute is always the worst choice you can make, because by then, everyone is already sorted into tightly matched lobbies. The early season rank chaos is the best time to climb because everyone is mixed together. Bronze with plats, golds with diamonds, and that makes every match more volatile in your favor. If you take advantage of that window and hit Unreal early, and then spend the remaining days preparing, you're already ahead of 90% of the competition. Most players fail simply because they procrastinate and then panic grind at the last minute or in the last 3 days, stressing themselves out, rushing fights, and throwing those easy games you would have won if you just played 10 days earlier. So don't be that player. If you want to compete this season and give yourself a real chance at the Unreal Cup, start climbing immediately. Don't push it off. Don't make excuses. Lock in now, choose your mode, understand the system, and play with a purpose. The players who hit Unreal first aren't the luckiest. They're the ones who treat these first 10 days like their opportunities, not something they hope works out later on. And if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below what you guys think of the new ranked. Also, make sure you use code FLOWIN in the Fortnite item shop if you're buying the Battle Pass or anything else. And I will be having my mechanics map coming out next week, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Once again, thank you guys for taking time out of your day to watch my video. I love you all. You guys have a great rest of your guys' day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, guys.